Africans in the diaspora have been advised to trace their roots back home and invest in the continent, just like many advanced nations of the world are investing in Africa. The Director General Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri, gave the advice at a forum for Africans in the diaspora hiring in the United States of America.
Some Africans were taking up the shores of the continent as slaves to America and Europe through slave rules in the Sahara Desert. They were made to work as bondsmen in the plantation. But over time, these Africans soon regained freedom. Amongst them was the celebrated Bishop Ajayi Crowther. Others were stronger in business and grew in leaps and bounds, especially with the abolition of slave trade on 25th March 1807. Today, about 70% of black doctors in America are Nigerians, and others are celebrated in other fields of life. At our forum for blacks in the diaspora, Abike Dabiri enjoined fellow blacks to remember their roots and invest in the continent.
A lot of African Americans, in fact blacks in the diaspora, want to connect with the continent. They want to connect with the motherland. So, it's like they keep saying, how do we do it? So we are giving them a platform to make that happen. So we have a program in Badagry called The Door of Return, where they walk through the route where their ancestors were taken away as slaves and then, are received as kings and queens and royalty. So, but the key thing is that building an African nation, working together as blacks. If over 60% of the resources in Africa, in the world, are located in Africa, how come we are the way we are? And as long as you are a black person and the world looks down on the continent Africa, the world will continue to look down on you as a black man or woman, no matter where part of the continent you are from. So it's about togetherness. It's about if the Chinese, Indians, Asians, others are investing in Africa, why not the successful black American, who. And a lot of them are doing their DNA and saying, knowing where they come from. So if you know where you're coming from, you know where you're going to.
We try to tell, in particular, our young people, or not so much young people, that they engage in doing something for the community. That's very rewarding, and it's something that giving back to others. I can't think of a better way. That's why we get into it. It's like Chairman Barnes, he works very hard leading our Legislative Black Caucus, Maryland.
Alongside other black personalities, the DG Nigeria Diaspora Commission said they are working to find solutions to the recent visa ban slammed on Nigeria by the Trump administration.
And then another matter that came up is the immigration ban by President Trump. The joy of that is that they are the ones even speaking on our behalf, saying that Nigerians are not people that should be on that ban. Nigerians are the most educated immigrants here in America. Out of the Association of Black Doctors, 70% are Nigerians. There's no profession Nigerians are not excelling. So if you're looking for English-speaking, educated, it shouldn't be. In fact, we Nigerians are contributing so much to the economy here. So and the joy about that is that it's coming from the Americans, saying that no, it shouldn't be Nigeria. So I hope that that decision will be looked at again and rescinded, because Nigeria does not deserve to be on that list. So we continue the engagement, togetherness, brotherliness, one love, one nation, one destiny. That is the theme of the Pan-African dialogue and all that. So we continue to engage our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. The Diaspora Commission, apart from engaging with Nigerians in the diaspora, are also reaching out to the historic African diaspora. They want to come home, they want to know the continent and know more about it.
When it comes to issues that affect the African American, the black community, the people of color, and in some cases, in some neighborhoods, they call us Negroes.
That's right.
Listen, we are one of the strongest black caucus in the union. We have 58 members, 46 in the House and 12 in the Senate. I've always said this is the time that no bill shall go past without the stamp of the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus Order. When you start looking at issues that plague our community, when you start looking at things like criminal justice reform, education, transportation, affordable housing, economics, and dare do I leave out the environment, all of those things plague our community regardless of where you are, what zip code you have, and how do we go about making a difference and a change when it comes to that. One of the things that I am so happy to talk about is the African diaspora, when we start looking at how do we build collaborative relationships.
Yeah.
You know, for so many years, you know, there has been a stigma on the word African and what does it really mean. And African Americans truly do not know what it means to be an African.
Till today, in Nigeria, there's a place called Sungo Eredo. It lies between a place called Lagos State and Ogun State. And there's a wall that was built between the 800 and 1000 AD. That is magnificent. It's overgrown with trees and all, but you can see what went into it, the engineering feat that went into it. That is what your ancestors did. So please, I want us to change the narrative, and that's why we're here. We want to build bridges. We want to forge a relationship with all the peoples of African descent that are across the world. We want our children to know. We want our children to have a sense of pride of being this color they call black. But like I always say, I don't call this color black because who chose this color to call? This could be yellow, this could be green, it could be purple. But all that I know is I am not a color, I am an African.
I have seen a whole lot of work that these people have done. When this information was brought to them, you could see the yearning of them wanting to connect to their roots which is Africa. And you know, the rest is history. We all heard how they passionately spoke. And they're not just talkers, they are doers. So I'm hoping that we will be able to execute and take away the bureaucracy that stops us from moving forward. Because I served in my nation, Nigeria, for 5 years. And my phase now is to give back and to also pay it forward and make tangible, results-oriented relationship.
They said among other proposals, plans are on to give voting rights to Nigeria in the diaspora to vote in Nigeria elections.